What's up, y'all? You're watching Brooklyn Shuffleboard, and we have a treat of a match for you this evening. We have Paul Assad from Ting, Tang, Walla, Walla, Bing Bang versus Ben Cole from Kitchensurfing. These are two of the best players at the Palms. They already took their warm-up shots, and they are kicking things off right now. So this is the semifinals of the losers bracket of this monthly tournament we started back in November, December. It's a double elimination tournament. The winner of this one goes on to the finals of the losers bracket against Max from Shuffleboard, and the winner of that goes on to the finals against me of the whole thing. So this is a pretty exciting match. Ben, as I said, one of the best players in the league. He's on Kitchensurfing. They've won 3 championships. Paul on Ting Tang has won 1, but Paul has a pretty distinguished singles career, going to the finals of Thanksgiving and the last single season, and also winning the St. Pete championship. So this should be a really good one. And already Ben sort of rolled a St. Pete over the left, and Paul, you know, without the hammer, just trying to block it up, trying to make it so that Ben can't hide behind that own black disc. Ben's hammer here, so it's going to be interesting to see whether he just sort of opts to try to clear the board and score the hammer, or if he tries to play a little aggressive. Ooh, interesting. All right, that was a good clear. He cleared the yellow one out. So, you know, he does have a lane now to hide behind that black disc if he wanted to score an 8 or a 7 on the left side. And Paul's probably just going to take the same shot he made last time and try to clog that lane up. And that's what he does. That one even better, a little bit deeper. And yeah, his approach without the hammer here is just make Ben's hammer as hard as possible. Try to clog everything up. All right, Ben shoots it hard. Tries to clear it. Kind of keeps it in the middle where Paul, if he wanted to score an 8 or a 7 on the right, he could. But I think he's probably just going to put one in the center and try to block up the whole board. He's thinking about it, though. He's on the left now, and now he's looking at the angle. So this is court 7, too. And court 7 also. And the drift on this court, all the courts on sort of the food truck side of the Royal Palms, a lot of them curve towards the columns. So I think Paul's thinking if he does try to hide behind that black disc on our right, the drift might carry it to the left, and he might not be able to get back there. But he's deciding to go for it. Let's see if he can get this. Really focusing, lining up. Shoots it. Looks pretty good, maybe a little soft. And yeah, you could just see that disc hook to the left. So Ben has a straight shot on it, but remember just how Paul's disc kind of curved left. Ben's might do the same. So hitting it straight on and keeping the black disc in the 8 might be kind of tough. Oh, and he just completely whiffs it to the left. Oh, the drift got the best of him. So Paul scores 8 on Ben's hammer, and that is quite the way to kick things off right now. Paul playing yellow, Ben on black. I don't know if I said that before. But yeah, now Ben has to think, is he going to try to start playing aggressive and go on the board and start playing the kitchen game? I mean, our format for this tournament is the same as all of other single stuff, where we're playing 16 frame games and the players switch color halfway. So I'm thinking, if I'm Ben, I'm not going crazy yet. I'm not playing the kitchen game. Paul's game is the kitchen game. He loves kitchening, and for Ben to go on the board is basically just giving Paul more opportunities to get a sense of the kitchen speed, get a sense of the drift. And yeah, Ben puts up a good St. Pete, and Paul can't clear it. So now Ben has a hide opportunity. Shoots it, and that is pretty, baby. Oh yeah. 7 on the left, hidden perfectly. That is a nasty, nasty shot. Yeah, I think Ben plays a little bit similar to me, where it's like really just hoping for the hide opportunities and then converting, you know, at a really high clip. So Paul looks like he's going for the combo, misses it, but misses in a way that's good, where his rolled off. So Ben has that 7. You can see he's on the left side, on Paul's side, trying to see where the perfect spot is to put up a block. And yeah, he's just trying to block up, make it so Paul can't get to it. And that looks pretty good. It's maybe a little bit to the right of where he wanted it. I think maybe he was thinking it it would drift left a little bit more, because Paul, I can see it from my vantage point. Paul can see it. He can get to it. I don't know if Paul can hit it straight on and stay in the scoring area. This is going to be a big shot. If he can keep a 7, it'll be nestled. It'll be hidden right behind that black one up front. Shoots it really nicely and gets the shot. That was an incredible shot with the drift working against them. So now you can see, looking at the other side of the court down there, that black is like straight up in the way. And what went from a huge advantage for Ben this frame suddenly turned into a disadvantage for him just because he couldn't get the good block. Goes for the bump. Ooh, all right. That is either 0 blacks or it's 2 blacks. Both of those look close. No, it's neither of them. Wow. Almost got the bump. And now Paul has a chance for scoring 2 on his hammer after stealing Ben's hammer with an 8 of his own in the first frame. So if Paul can get this 8 on the right, he's going to take a pretty commanding lead after 2 frames. Here it is. Lining it up. I like how it takes his time before shooting. Shoots it, and that is gliding in perfectly. Oh, no. Lands on the 7-8 line. I hate the 7-8 line so much. That line, oh, I hate it. Open hammer, stick the line. There's nothing more frustrating than that. All right, but Paul did get that 7 points. So it's, he didn't make his hammer, but he scored on his hammer. And it is a 15-0 lead for yellow after 2. Still not panic mode for Ben. He has a lot of time to grind his way back in this thing. Paul trying to go for the clear again. Paul kind of shoots it where he doesn't really like blast his clears. It's interesting. It's almost like he's trying to hone in on the kitchen speed, but with like a lot of extra juice. Because Ben has this corner 7 hide. Can't really get it there, but not that big a deal. No hide opportunities for Paul here. And Paul with the extra disc. A lot of people, it's his hammer. He has 3 discs left. A lot of people here will throw off because they're like, what am I going to do with this disc? Paul, I can see him playing the kitchen game just because that's the player he is, but up 15-0 after 2, I don't know if it's a smart move. And yeah, he kind of like just wants to keep his disc in play. I think that's what he's going for. So Ben without the hammer, I think he's going to probably try to go for another hide. I mean, it's a hard shot. Has to be a mid to deep 7. And again, with the incredible shot. Wow, he is 2 for 2 on really, really sweet hides. So Paul can see it, but just like the last one, he has to have an incredible amount of finesse to get it to stay in. Shoots it, and it hooks left, and it kind of leaves that black 7 exposed, and leaves Paul with a disc that he could split on his hammer later on. So Ben, really tough choice here. It's, do you cover, do you put up a block so Paul can't get to that 7, or do you try to kitchen the yellow disc on the right? I can see both being good choices. Ben's opting to block. Oh, he's opting to snuggle too. I didn't even see that as an option. That was a really nice shot. And it's high too. So if Paul hits it straight on, his yellow's not, I don't think it's going to fit between that black disc and the line. Wow, that was really nice. I was sort of expecting him just to block up the left side and make Paul get the split on his hammer on the right to score 15. But instead, he gets those 2 discs right next to each other. With the court drifting left, if Paul hits the left side of that first black disc, that first black disc is going to stay in points. I think Paul's looking to see how much space there is between the line and that black disc. Wow, this has been a really good one so far. All right, a big hammer shot here. He could just blast it and try to cut his losses, but I think he's going to try to finesse it with kitchen speed, knowing Paul. Lining it up. Shoots it pretty hard. And makes an incredible skill shot. This is like 3 episodes in a row where we have a skill shot where someone just like blasts something and it works out really well. That is 7 yellow, 10 off black. Wow. I mean, that shows that Shuffleboard is a lot of randomness. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you just blast the disc and something good happens. You can see Paul shaking his head. He's not feeling good about it. You know, you wanna win. You don't want to win that way. You know what I mean? I mean, you're gonna take it. You're not gonna turn it down. But those lucky rolls like that, lucky breaks, you know, you're kind of happy about it, but you kind of feel bad about it. All right, so we got frame 4 right now, and it is a 32-point lead, if my math is correct. Paul with a deep St. Pete. They're chit-chatting about shuffleboard strategy, probably. Yeah. Paul, they're talking strategy in the middle of the match. Maybe some mind games going on here. I don't know. I like Ben's shot. I didn't expect it. I mean, it didn't work out for him, but I think it is a valid option. And in that last frame, I mean, you know, you probably have like 3 good options, and the one he chose just happened to not work out. But anyway, Ben can't clear the St. Pete, and Paul has a hide opportunity again. With the drifting to the left, working against them. Shoots it pretty nicely. Ooh, and he clips the St. Pete and rolls onto the 10-8 line on the left. So Ben being down 32. I mean, I know it's only the 4th frame, but he's probably thinking kitchen here. This is an opportunity to get back in it. He just can't leave Paul in points. And he's going kitchen a little bit hard. Not a bad shot there. Leaves his disc kind of in a Tampa position for Paul to hide behind, but being up 32, I don't think Paul's going to go for it. Yeah, that one's not in. But you never know with Paul. He could be. I could easily see him trying to kitchen this as well. I mean, the right shot here, the smart shot, is just to clear it off, because being up 32. Your mindset probably shifts to just trying to outlast your opponent. And yeah, Paul going for the kitchen, trying to, and he gets it. Nice kitchen. Yeah, Paul, I think Paul's move is just to really try to hone in on the speed. You know what I mean? Try to like get used to the court as much as possible. Nice clear out of the kitchen by Ben. So he'll go for the kitchen shots he doesn't really need, thinking that maybe he'll need it later. I know he's also told me that he feels like sometimes he's just not clearing. So if he just tries to play the clearing game, he's not going to be successful, and his opponent will claw back into it. So he might as well spend the time getting used to the kitchen speed. And a lot of players play like that. But I still think you got to be trying to clear everything off here. Oh, a nice bum. Yeah, that was a good shot. I would have gone for that as well. Nice bum. So Ben with nothing here on his hammer. It's you combo the yellow into the other yellow, or you score on the open court on the right. And probably open court on the right, you make the easy shot. That's worth 7. So Ben finally gets some positive movement in the score, but another frame where Paul steals the hammer, as it is 30 to -3 after 4. Good start. Still sort of anyone's match here a little bit, where we have 12 more frames. So definitely a comeback's possible. And if Paul's playing, let me still try to kitchen everything, all it takes is a mistake or two, and then Ben capitalizes on it. But definitely in a good position. If you're Paul, you got to be happy being up 33 after 4. Paul with another nice St. Pete. And my suspicion is that Ben might go on the board here. No, he's still looking like he's going to clear it. This is like the question in Shuffleboard, as Ben tries to go for a clear and kind of rolls it, keeps it in the center. The question in Shuffleboard is, when do you shift strategy? Because the main part of the game is trying to stop your opponent from scoring hammers, trying to score hammers of your own, and taking advantage of missed clears and hiding and stuff like that, trying to kitchen them when possible. But if you're a player like Ben who likes to keep the board clear and score the hammer, at some point, if you're down 33, you're going to run out of frames. So some people, they prefer to start playing the kitchen game early and on their hammer. And some people like to hold out as long as possible and try to grind back in it on their hammer and then play kitchen game when it's not your hammer, as Ben goes on the board finally. And yeah, it's like everyone has a different approach about it. I personally, I like to, if I'm playing the kitchen game, I like to do it when it's not my hammer. And when it is my hammer, just try to get those guaranteed 7 or 8 points. Because so often when it is my hammer and I'm playing the kitchen game, I don't score anything. And there's nothing more frustrating than that. But everyone plays differently. Like some people love it playing kitchen on their hammer. Ooh, as Paul's going for a snuggle. Paul's on fire right now. He's getting everything he wants as he scores a 10. And, you know, Ben can't hit it straight on because that yellow 10 will stay in the yellow 10. Got that on video. That was good. Got a rogue clear on court 6 flying up over the stairs. Nice shot by Ben. Clearing it all out. Kind of recognizing when the situation is not going to work out well for him. Where there's no upside to that particular scenario there. So he's just, let me reset, clear it out. Paul has a hide opportunity here on the right, which he doesn't really need. He could just sort of block the tip of the 10, but he's looking like he's going for it. He's lining it up. I mean, the last thing he wants is to clip the St. Pete and end up on the board where Ben can kitchen him. And that time he got it nicely. That was really well hidden. You can see how close that yellow disc got to the black one up front. That was a really, really nice shot. And a second frame in a row where Ben just has to be resigned to making the open court hammer, which he does 2 frames in a row. But still, that is frustrating. You know, you want to be coming back in this game, not just treading water, keeping the score even. Still a 32-point game. And now Paul has 2 hammers in a row. Paul has an extra hammer here over Ben. And yeah, this will be the test of what I was talking about earlier. Is Ben just going to straight up go on the board and play the kitchen game? And that's what it looks like. Yeah, right on the center line. Some people really like that first disc on the center line because it's hard to, you know, you have so much space to clear off. You got to like clear it hard and perfectly because it's so close to the center of the board. Paul going for the kitchen and comes up long and leaves Ben with a juicy kitchen opportunity here. Big shot for Ben. He wants to get back in this game. And the way he's going to do it is with some kitchen play. Looks a little soft. All right. Definitely too soft for the kitchen, but got a little lucky where he bumped the yellow disc on the center line there instead of leaving it in points. And Paul has a kitchen opportunity of his own if he's going for it. I'm probably trying to clear this disc as hard as I possibly can. And Paul goes for the kitchen and misses it to the right. So 2 yellow discs on the board. That yellow on the right is a good 8. So Ben with the kitchen chance. You know, he could theoretically bump it and maybe kitchen both, but the shot you want to do is just try to focus on kitchening that one on the right. Releases a little bit hard. So then Paul with another chance here. Once again, smart shot, probably just to clear it off since you're up 32. But Paul's trying to figure out this court, figure out this drift, and really cement the lead here. Lining up. I love the preparation before the shot. And a little bit hard as well. Pretty much the same speed that that black shot in the last kitchen attempt. So attempt number 2, it's in almost the exact same place as the one before. So he could refine and adjust. And he shoots it a little bit to the right and gets the double kitchen and the 8, baby. Double kitchen and the 8. And that is 28 of the 32 that he needs. Wow, that was as nasty as it gets. I promised a treat of a match, and you are getting one right now. Paul's hammer here. He's gonna try to clear one of his kitchens out using that black disc. Let's see how it goes. Oh, he's just straight up kitchening it, and it's long, but he gets the 8. Wow, what a frame! What a frame! So it's minus 12 for yellow. Minus 12 for yellow, so 25 to 5. And that's exactly what I'm saying about optimal strategy that frame for Paul. Just clear everything. Like, the worst thing that could happen for him is losing points on his hammer and letting Ben come back in it. But that's what happened. But, you know, they're having a lot of fun. And he still have 20. So I could see his perspective is, why not make this a fun match to watch? But yeah, it's 20-point spread. They both have an even number of hammers left. 2 more frames, including this one before they switch sides. And Ben is back to St. Pete mode. He's thinking, game's close enough now. I'm going to go back to my strategy of trying to hide behind St. Pete's. And Paul clears it off nicely with, like, that kind of a little bit harder than kitchen speed. Ben throwing up what is a very nice Tampa on the right. You know, Ben's next disc, if Paul can't clear it, could be an 8 or a 7 on the right side close to the center line, and that black disc would be perfectly in the way. See, Paul's probably going to try to kitchen it again and maybe roll his disc to the left there. Goes to kitchen it again, misses the kitchen, and gives Ben a Tampa hide. Here it is, big shot here. He wants an 8. Probably an 8, not a 7, close to that center line. It looks really nice. Oh, baby. Oh, so close. That was nearly perfect. He probably wanted it like a foot shorter, and that would have been absolutely perfect. All right, and it's Paul's hammer here, so I don't know what he's going to do. He is sort of anything he does is going to put him in kind of a tight spot because he doesn't really want to block off the right side and block Ben's opportunity to split it because it's Paul's hammer. You know, he doesn't want to block up the board. If he clears that yellow out up front, then Ben has an opportunity to split it. He might go on the board on the left, and then if he's not, you know, if it leaves it wide open, Ben could kitchen it. So I'm not really sure. I think he's thinking, from how he's lining up, he's either going to try to clear that black disc. Oh, now he's lining up in the middle. So I think he's just going to go on the board on our right, maybe. Oh, no, he's blocking it up. So he blocks up the split, which is, like, kind of fine. So Ben can block up the left side, make Paul have a hard hammer, or Ben could go down the alley on the right and hide another disc if he wanted to. But my guess is he's just going to make the hammer difficult with a nice block. Oh, he's going on the board there. Ooh, that's in. Interesting. I really didn't expect that. I thought he was going to block it up. Instead, he's going for points and hoping that, you know what? I wonder if he's thinking, if the drift gets the best of Paul, if Paul's disc sails to our left, he might clip that black 8 to the right and knock that other one, maybe. I don't know. I'm not really sure. But yeah, let's do it. Paul's hammer, big shot here. Shoots it with kitchen speed, and he does not get either of them, I don't think. No, wow. Ben with a really nice strategic shot, making Paul have to have the hard hammer, yeah. I mean, the other thing, too, is Paul's going for a kitchen every shot. He looks unstoppable because he's gotten so many, but, like, you're going to mess up kitchen attempts and leave people in points eventually if you play the kitchen game. That's just, like, part of it. You can't be accurate all the time. So maybe he's thinking a Paul mistake is the way he gets back in it. But either way, really nice last shot from Ben, and Paul can't score the hammer. All right, so yellow with a picture-perfect St. Pete. And Ben is going for the clear and can't get the clear again. Man, the clearing has not been the strong suit of either of these players today. Which, frankly, makes for a more entertaining shuffleboard. So I am mad about it. All right, Paul going for the hide on the right. Lining it up from the 4 spot. And that is on the line. That was like super pretty though in terms of the placement. You know, the left right placement was spot on. And Ben just clearing it out. I like that. It's your hammer. You want the board to be as uncomplicated as possible. And Paul, my guess, is going to try to bump his own yellow into points, either head on and try to protect it a little bit, or from the side and try to score 2 yellows. I know Paul likes that side bump. And yeah, he goes for the head on bump. So there is a yellow 7 in points. Did he get 2 there? Oh, wow, he got both. Nice shot. Damn. So yeah, I mean, that was a really nice shot. He got 2. But they're so close together that this is the kind of thing where if Ben just shoots it really hard, he's probably going to get both clear. You know, you sometimes want a little bit more separation between the two to make it harder to clear both with one shot. But let's see how it goes. Yeah, that was nice. Ben got both clear, leaves himself in the 8. And this is an 8 on the right is where Paul and Ben have been both going for kitchen attempts the last time they were back on this side of the court. So we'll see. I mean, usually the more times you try to shoot for a very specific shot, the more likely you are to get it. That one is short. Oh, I think that's 2. That's 2. Oh, man, he comes up so short. So Ben with a hard hammer because he doesn't want that yellow disc when he knocks it out to slam into his home. But if he could score 2 here, he's back in this game big time. All right, he shoots it nicely. Oh, that is so nice. That is so nice. Rolls the black disc to the left perfectly. Doesn't disturb his disc in the 7. And this is why we play Shuffleboard. This is an incredible match. So we got 25 yellow, 25 Paul, 20 Ben, and they are switching colors right now before they start the 9th frame. They're going to do practice shots and then start the 9th frame. Wow. What a comeback for Ben right now. That was such a hard hammer. Like, the margin of error is slim on that. There's so many ways that shot can go wrong for you with the yellow slamming into your own disc, you ending up on a line and only scoring 1, but he got the shot he needed and he executed it with perfection. Yeah. All right, so 4 more practice shots before they start the 9th frame. I guess 8 more because they're doing 4 from each end. And the goal of the practice shot, as I've said before, is really to figure out what's going on in the court. You know, they played 8 frames already, but from the other color. And this whole court is sort of like drifty in some areas, not drifty in other areas, or I guess kind of like mildly sloped in some areas toward those columns, more flat in some areas. So just because Ben was playing black before and kind of got a sense from 8 frames of what the drift's like on the right side of the court, the left side of the court might be a little bit of a mystery to him. So especially with this kitchen style of play that they've been forced to go for, trying to figure out how many inches over from where they want the disc to go, they have to aim to account for that slope of the court. That's figuring that out is going to be really important here. And this will be interesting to see Paul's routine here. You can see him like kind of sliding the discs up and down on the court. This is also a pro move. I haven't been able to get this to work for me, but a lot of players in Florida will do it. He's basically trying to attempt to feel how smooth the discs are and how heavy the discs are to identify if there's like a faster disc and a slower disc that he needs to account for when he shoots. And I usually try to figure that information from taking my practice shots kind of and like watching them. I'm not able to kind of get the read just by sliding them around, but he is, and it works really well for him because he basically has a bit of an advantage from the jump. Wow, nice practice shot from Paul, kitchening his own disc there. So you can tell he's trying to figure out the drift on the right side with kitchen speed. Goes on the left side, another good 8. And now he's trying to figure out the drift, shooting from the 4 spot from the outside, probably trying to kitchen that black 8 on the left. Yeah, so he's like, hits it kind of straight on. That just probably curved 1 inch to our left, because you could see his didn't really hit it like straight on. It made contact slightly off the center, and that's what you're trying to do when you're like aiming at a point and seeing the drift. That's one thing, but then if you're trying to see the drift for like a kitchen strength shot, you're basically trying to see where the center of your disc makes contact with the disc you're aiming at. And if it hits it straight on, like the center of the disc you're shooting hits the center of the disc you're aiming for, you know there's no drift. If it hits the center of the disc you're shooting, hits the left edge of the disc you're aiming for, you know it's 3 inches of drift, because the disc is 6 inches in diameter. So 3 inches, you know, from the middle to the left side of the dish. Disc. So yeah, they're all really just trying to figure out what's going on with this court. But I'm just amazed we have a 5-point game right now. Paul was up 33 and then 32 in the 4th and 5th frame, and now he's only up 5. All right, he shoots to an 8 from the 1 spot, and now he's kind of thinking about it. I think maybe he switches up his practice routine based on the court. I'm always sort of doing the same thing every time. But now he's trying to hit that disc head on from the 4 spot and kitchen it. And that one hit head on, and he did kitchen it. So that looked like from the 4 spot, even though this court drifts to the left, I think when you start on the outside, maybe it doesn't drift as much. That one kind of straight, curved left, maybe, I don't know, an inch, half inch. And the last one at the 10 nails the 10. And that one kind of curved a tiny bit to the left as well. All right, so we got frame 9. And this is going to be a fun final 8 frames. As I said earlier, Ben knocked Paul to the loser's bracket in round 1 of this 32-person tournament we have going. So Paul's looking for revenge, and already a mistake from Ben on the first shot. He's trying to shoot a St. Pete, and with that drift, it curves left, and it is a picture-perfect Tampa for Paul to high behind. Oh, man, that's so rough. You could know the court curves left, and it's one thing to know it, and it's another thing to like execute really well with that drift. And that's a tough one. That kind of happens to everyone. You're like, all right, this St. Pete needs to be far out to the right. All right, Paul going for the hide. Oh, that was so good. That came so close to hitting the yellow. That was within like a half inch, maybe a quarter of an inch from hitting that yellow disc. And instead of it being a mistake, it is a perfect 8. Ben cannot get to it. All right, he opts to just clear the yellow out and force Paul to make another nice shot to block up that 8. You can see Paul's looking at it from Ben's side of the court, trying to figure out exactly where he needs his disc to go to be a problem for Ben. All right, he's lining up. And he shoots it. It looks pretty good. Yeah, that is perfect. Court kind of start curving left a little bit, and then it straightened out. Or the disc started curving left a little bit, and then straightened out. But Ben, I mean, he's looking from the outside. I'm wondering if he thinks he could see the edge of it. I mean, it looks like that's what he's going for. If you got the line, go for it. And, oh, he gets it. Wow. That was nasty. He did not have a lot of margin for error there, and he nails it perfectly. So Paul, this is interesting too. Paul, instead of going for another Tampa hide, looks like he's going to bump his own disc in. I'm thinking take the Tampa hide. I mean, you just made that shot a minute ago, but what do I know? And he goes for the bump and did not get it, and that disc is exposed. So Ben has 2 options here. Ben can block up the middle/left side of the board and make Paul have a hard hammer, or he could knock that black out and keep his in an 8 right behind that black one up front, which is what he goes for, and he gets it. Nice shot. Ben with another nasty shot. Didn't get the kitchen, but that's exactly what he wanted. I mean, Paul can see the edge of it, but with the drift to the left, I mean, Ben missed that shot in the first frame. And even if the disc isn't perfectly hidden, it makes a hard hammer for Paul. And Paul clips the block up front. Wow. Not the right strategic shot from Paul either. I mean, we saw this from Ben in the first half where Ben was like, I'm going to pass up the hard shot to make the easy shot on the open court. And he did that like 2 times, even though it meant his hammer being stolen because Paul already had a hidden disc. And sometimes you got to do that. You got to play smart and think, this is a long game. I can claw myself back in it. And instead, Paul goes for the hard shot and doesn't get anything out of it when he had the left side of the board wide open. Really, really, I don't know. It's kind of the way he's been playing. It's a little bit aggressive. And Ben, though, takes his first lead of the match, even though it's not. Oh, it is a lead. Yeah, he takes and he has an extra hammer. So he's up 3, and he has an extra hammer because we're playing at the foot of the court right now in frame 10. So Paul goes on the board. Ben with a really pretty clear. I mean, both players been struggling a little bit with the St. Pete clears. If Paul's going on the board and Ben's clearing everything, it'll be interesting to see if he is still going to be struggling or if he's going to be able to straighten it out and adjust here. Sometimes your clear shots, you need to warm up a little bit. Nope. Still sticking clears and gives Paul with a Tampa Hyde opportunity. All right, Paul lining up from the 4 spot from the outside. Wants to get this disc right on that number 8 on the right side. That would be perfectly hidden. And he got it. It's a little bit to the right of where he wants it, so Ben could see the edge of it, but it's like, yeah, this is harder than the one he did in the other frame. So my guess he's just going to try to get rid of the yellow, yeah. Smart shot. Make Paul block it up nicely. Yeah, I like Ben's approach strategically this match. He seems like he's knowing when to go for the hard shots and knowing when to go for the easy shots. I like it a lot. So Paul with a beautiful, beautiful hide. And Ben just going to stick an open court hammer on the left side here. If he can. That looks pretty good, and he gets it. Really nice hammer from Ben. Not feeling nervous at all that Paul scored and kind of stole his hammer. He's like, all right, you stole my hammer. I'm just gonna score the 8. No big deal. All right, and now they have the same number of hammers left, and Ben is up 3. Yeah, the number of hammers left is really the thing that determines how many, like whether you have the advantage or not in the game. Yeah, server cleaning up some of the pizza and drinks, leftover madness from a Monday league night. And Ben with a really strong clear and a really nice clear because he moves that disc up front to the left a tiny bit where it ends up being a Tampa for him. So he can, if Paul doesn't clear it, hide behind that. Paul, my guess is going to try to kitchen that and roll his disc to the right for a Tampa for himself. Goes for the kitchen and gets the kitchen. Wow, nasty. I mean, he still leaves that Tampa for Ben, but Ben has, other ideas. He's going to clear himself out of the kitchen. It's a high, it's kind of in the front of the kitchen, so even if he hits it straight on, he should be all right. He curves left, and he gets it out. Nice shot. All right, so Paul gets the kitchen. Ben clears it out. Paul doesn't really, I don't really know if he has much of a hide opportunity here. It looks like he's going to go for it because this court does curve to the left. So I'm thinking he's Maybe going to try to shoot for a 7 close to the center line. Aim for the center line and let the slope of the court carry it into points. I mean, I don't really know if he needs to it's an okay shot. I mean, if he misses it, Ben still has to deal with whatever disc he shot. Ooh, that is a disc. That is in scoring position. Yeah, that is a really nice shot from Paul. All of his hides have been just like so close to those blockers up front. Really, really nice, and also perfectly hidden. So Ben's gonna do what he's been doing and just clear it out. Like not even going for the combo. A lot of people chase that combo where they try to bump the disc in front into the one that's in points. The problem with that is if you miss, A, it's a hard shot, and B, if you miss, because you're kind of shooting it straight on, your disc is gonna stay in that spot. So you're gonna be left with a disc that's sort of in the way of you clearing it on the next try. That's why people like Ben clear it off, because he's thinking, all right, I'll just go for it next time. And there won't be a next time because Paul blocks it up perfectly. Paul, whole match, really, really nice blocks on those hides that he's been getting and like stealing hammers left and right. Ooh, Ben shoots that hard. Oh, and it curves towards the center line. Wow, a stolen hammer. Paul with the 7. Wow, so now it's 36-40 with Black being up by 4. Wow, Ben really like rocketed that. It kind of looked like it was going in the kitchen, but I don't know. Uncharacteristic after being so ice cold all match long. And right now, Paul has the 4-point lead. We are in the 11th frame. 9, 10, 11. We are in the 12th frame, which means Paul has an extra hammer. Paul has 3 hammers left, and Ben has 2. So extra hammer and the 4-point lead. That is a good position to be in if you are Black right now. Ben with the deep St. Pete, and Paul clears it. That time opting to solidly clear it instead of trying to go for kind of a kitchen speed or a roll. Ben with another deep St. Pete. I mean, I don't love those deep St. Pete's because it doesn't really leave a lot of space to hide behind if Paul doesn't clear it out. And Paul shoots it hard and clears it. He's been knocking it on the left side. A lot of people try to clear on the outside of the disc, so the part of the disc that's closest to the alley. So with those yellows being on the right side of the court, a lot of people clear on the right side. Less court space for your disc to travel before it rolls off the court. But with this court curving left in general, it's a little bit easier to clip the left side of the disc and let the slope of the court sort of carry that disc you're shooting, that clear shot you're shooting off into the alley. So that's why he's aiming for the left there. And he does it again, and he sticks it. So this is interesting. Ben has to think about the right shot here. I don't know, he has a couple options. One's kitchen, the other is shoot a 10 and try to snuggle it. Yeah, one's just block it up, make him shoot on the left side of the court. He's going for the kitchen, it looks like, and just ends up clearing it off, which isn't that bad. I mean, Paul, with the score, will go up double-digit points, but there's still a lot of game left, so it may not be the time to throw your Hail Marys right now. And he gets it. Nice shot. Nice hammer shot. For a minute, it looked like it was going to stick that sideline on the right, but it ended up being pretty. So we got 36 yellow and 48 black. 12-point game with 4 frames left, so each player has 2 hammers remaining. So if you're Ben, you have 2 hammers remaining. Those 2 hammers, 2 7s, will get you the lead if you steal both of Paul's hammers. If you only steal one of Paul's 2 hammers, Ben's losing, even if he makes both of his own. So
this is one of those situations I was mentioning before where you got to decide, like, is it time to start playing the kitchen game, starting to play a little bit more aggressive, trying to score 2 points here. It's not really clear what that was, if that was like a St. Pete that traveled long or if he was trying to play the kitchen game or not. But Paul is clearing with strength and can't get it clear. So this, I can tell you right now, this is going to be a kitchen attempt. 100% for sure. All right, he shoots it a little bit. Ooh, speed looked perfect, but connected to the left a little bit, probably because of that drift I was talking about. And Paul has a high chance here. Paul can, put a 7 on the left side, and it'll be hidden. And scoring 2 this frame would maybe seal up the match for him, so he's going for it. But if he does leave a kitchen opportunity, ooh, he clips it. He clips it, and Ben now with a kitchen opportunity. Again. Yeah. Paul trying to play aggressive even with the lead, and results in Ben with a juicy kitchen attempt right here. Oh no, he whiffed it. Oh, completely whiffed it. I mean, he made a tiny bit of contact, but that drift really, really carried the disc to the left there. And Paul has a split try here. He's going to probably clip the side of it, maybe the left side, and get 2. Or he could hit it on the right side and try to get an 8 and 7 and create a little bit more space between the 2 discs. I mean, he has a couple different ways he could do it. Yeah, he's trying to clip the left side and misses it. And that gives Ben with another kitchen attempt another chance to kitchen this. But even if he misses, Paul has a second chance at the split. Oh, and Ben misses again. Oh, he just whiffs it left. 3 shots in a row where he missed to the left because of that drift. And here it comes. This is the game-ending shot. If Paul can hit the left side of that disc that's on the 8-8 line and score 3 discs, it is definitely over. Looks pretty good. And he gets it. Wow. Nasty, nasty shot from Paul. That is a 22-point frame for Black. Black was already up, and that was a 22-point frame. So that's 70-36 with 3 frames left. Wow. That is cold-blooded. All right, so now we're playing kitchen game. But that's Paul's game, and he spent the whole match working on it. So it's going to be hard for Ben to come back here. Ooh, and also this is with the court drifting to the left. It's a harder court for yellow to play on, just because you're fighting that drift that's near the columns. All right, well, Paul's putting up a St. Pete, and Ben's going to have to go on the board here. Man, cannot believe that last frame. That is wild. All right, Ben with a really nice shot on the right. It doesn't really matter if it's in because the goal is just to get Paul to not be able to clear it. Paul going for the kitchen. Not the right shot, and leaves Ben in a 7. All right. Well, if Ben's going to come back, this is how it's going to happen. You know what I mean? He has a kitchen opportunity on that black disc. He already has a 7 on the right. So if he can kitchen and keep his disc in a score, he is on his way. Oh, and he misses to the left again, and he misses short. Oh, man. Well, I got a little lucky that his disc stayed in. That speed maybe would have been good if he hit it straight on. It's a little hard to tell. We got 14 for yellow, 14 for yellow, and 7 for black on the court right now. So Paul definitely going to get rid of one of those yellows. It looks like he's aiming cross court, probably thinking that if he gets it, it'll be hidden behind that black disc up front. Oh, but he misses it. He clips the block. Oh, all right. And his disc ended up in a situation that kind of blocks that yellow on the right. Oh, man. So Ben needs to kitchen that black one probably. That's probably what he's going for. Oh, that looks good. Let's go, baby. Nasty, nasty shot. So that is 14 yellow, 10 off for black right now. Wow. And Paul only has one disc left. And it's going to be hard because there's so much stuff in the way of that kitchen. So his move is, I don't know. Yeah, I'm looking down the alley. He can maybe see the edge of that yellow 7 on the right, but barely any of it. I think he's going to try to hit that yellow one on the 8-7 line into his own. I'm not really sure what he's trying to do here. Maybe, let's see. Shoots it pretty hard. And, oh, got it. Nice shot. He rolled his disc to the left and got rid of one of the 7s. That was kind of a curling style shot here. But, I mean, that's an exposed 7. And Ben has kitchen on the brain being down. This is a huge shot for Ben. He's basically back in the game if he gets this shot. Oh, man. This is a huge, huge shot. Already shoots it. Looks pretty good. Too hard for the kitchen, but gets the 7, which wasn't easy. So that was a 24-point frame for Ben. 14 yellow, 10 off black. Wow. So we got 50 yellow and 60 black. And what seemed like an insurmountable lead 8 discs ago is now anyone's game. That's crazy. 2 frames left and it's only a 10-point game. Wow. Equal number of hammers. Each player 1 hammer. I mean, Paul still has the advantage being up 10 with the same number of hammers for both players. But, like, man, he had this game locked up. And now it's within Ben's reach. But this is sort of been how it is. Every time Ben gets close, Paul sort of creates that separation. So, I don't know. We'll see. Ben being down 10, I don't think he can keep the board clear and score his hammer and aim for a 10. I think he has to go on the board and try to score 2 discs. And that's what he does. He puts it on the center line. And Paul, working on his kitchen this entire time. It'll be interesting to see. Oh, no, he's shooting it hard now. Yeah, he's like, I've been burned several times. I am clearing with speed and not giving Ben any kitchen opportunities. And Ben with another really nice one on the center of the board. That's what I was saying earlier. It's like the hardest spot to clear because the disc you're shooting has to cover a lot of ground to make it off into the alley. Paul shoots it softer and sticks it. So we have another kitchen attempt. Ben's second to last disc. We saw him whiff to the left. How many times on this? 2 times in a row in the last time they were at the head. Let's see if he can adjust. He adjusts, doesn't get the kitchen, but definitely made contact in a way that works for him. And now we have Paul with his last disc. Smart shot, clear it off. Let Ben try for the 10 to tie the game. If Ben scores an 8, Paul's up 2 with his hammer. But Paul, being Paul, I think he's going to go for the kitchen here. Oh, no, he shoots it hard. Oh, and he misses it. Oh, he leaves him in the 7. Oh, man. So Ben, with the hammer, will go up. Will be up going into the last frame. The last frame, Paul's the hammer, so it's still, he has an opportunity to win it. Ben's thinking about it. I mean, there's not really a lot. I guess he's thinking about whether he aims for the 10 or not. Because if he aims for the 10, he goes up in the last frame up 7. If he goes for an 8, he goes up in the last frame up 5. I think I don't care. I think you just got to go for the high percentage shot and stick an 8. Like, you go for the 10 and you miss, and you're down going into the last frame. You're losing. I think you can't go for the 10 here. It's the hero shot, but you got to stop him from in the last frame from scoring the hammer anyway. Yeah, he just goes for the 8 and get there. Gets it. 15 for yellow, and yellow is up 5, 65-60 in the last frame. What an incredible, 2 incredible comebacks this match for Ben. Oh man, must be feeling good. I mean, Paul with the hammer, keep every shot clear and score your hammer, and Paul still wins this game. But
Man, I cannot believe we are at this point where this is a have to score your hammer to win the match type of game. Oh, yeah. This is an exciting one. This moment calls for a sip of Earl Ball. Delicious. All right, Ben with going for a St. Pete that is halfway between a Tampa and a St. Pete. Kind of, yeah. I mean, both of them could hide behind that, but Paul keeping it clear. He is going to keep this board clear and score his hammer. And, neither player clearing amazingly. So if I'm Ben, I'm still doing it. All right, Ben with a deep one. Sort of like, not really a St. Pete, because even if Paul sticks it, not really a lot of room to hide behind. Let's see what Paul does here. Yeah, shoots it hard and kind of sticks it, but like Ben can't really hide behind that. I mean, Ben can hide a 7 close to the center line on the right side, and it will be hidden. But that is an incredibly hard shot, and the court drifts to the left. And if he misses, Paul can hide down the alley or bump his zone in. Man, this is a tough one, because if you're Ben, you're like, I don't want the board to be clear for Paul's hammer, so I need to play a little bit aggressive, but you don't want to lose the match by playing too aggressive and making a mistake. You know what I mean? You don't want to go for the kitchen and leave him in points. You don't want to leave him an opportunity to hide it. Oh, he's blocking it up. All right. So that was nice. His thinking is Paul can't bump his own into points now. My thinking is I have a free hide opportunity down the alley. You know what I mean? Like, if you're Paul, you put a 7 on the right, there's no way Ben's getting to it. And Ben, yeah, he has an opportunity to hide behind that black disc like I talked about earlier. But with the drift moving left, that's an incredibly hard shot. So I'm thinking I'll go for this and let Ben go for the incredibly hard shot. And it looks like Paul came to the same conclusion I did, going down the alley to potentially go up. And in this last frame, shoots it, looks pretty nice. And yeah, he gets it. That is like a game-breaking shot right there. So now Ben's losing now. You know what I mean? Like Paul has 67 points on the board. Yeah, Ben throws him his hands like that was amazing. Ben has one shot here. I mean, he needs to go for that high that I was saying was impossible. Or just go on the board and hope that Paul whiffs. Those are the two chances. I mean, this is a really hard shot. It's really hard not to end up on the center line here. Yeah, that's not good. Oh, he gets the 10. All right, so that's cool. Gets the 10. Makes Paul have to do something on his hammer. But all Paul really has to do is clear that out without, I guess, knocking the yellow into his own 7 on the right. He just has to hit it straight on and hard. He can't whiff. Wow, this is a tough one. Man. So Paul with a clear to win. I'll just right hard and down the center. A clear to win. Clear to win. Shoots it pretty hard, and he gets it. Clear to win. Wow. Nasty finish to a nasty, nasty match. All right. That was nuts. That was a great match. So Paul moves on to the finals of our losers bracket for this monthly tournament, playing Max from Shuffleboards. Hope to get that match recorded as well. Winner of that match plays the winner of the winners bracket for the grand finals. Best believe that one's getting filmed as well. Thanks so much for watching Brooklyn Shuffleboard. Hope you found this entertaining and educational from a shuffleboard strategy perspective. And I will catch y'all on the next one. Peace out.